Hey, please excuse the background noise. I thought I'd just pop in and create a quick video about Google Reader, a really great way that I use to keep on top of my news, be it on my BlackBerry, on my iPad, on any number of apps that you can download and so forth. And of course, the most elegant look and feel is via the web. So here we go. I want to show you how to start from zero. I'm assuming that all y'all have a Gmail account. I can't guarantee that, but if you don't, just go here and create an account, and then I want you to log into that account. I'll log in here because this is probably the way you usually get into here. CAAHdemo@gmail.com. So this is probably what you see when you come to your Gmail in the morning. And if you look up here, you'll see there's calendars and documents and photos and reader and web and more, right? Well, look at that, Reader. Reader's a great thing, and I want to tell you more about it in a second, and how easy it is to set up, and I'm going to show you around and through it. But by default, you have a Reader, whether you connect with Google via Gmail, via their googlemail.com in Europe, in Germany, or if you engage with them via Google Apps. So, for example, you work at a business such as Abraham Harrison that uses Google Apps, or you are a student at a university that uses Google Apps, you will have the Reader too. Alright, so up here you'll see, go to more, and then you have the Reader here. See, so on your default Google page you can get to it. So here's what it looks like when you're not logged in. So CAAHdemo, and then the password to log you in, and here you are. Now it's very helpful right out of the box. So read this a little bit. It says Reader is like a magazine in design. By its default, it just gives you very pretty rendered looking pages. By its virtue, it'll give you, by its default, it'll give you some really interesting reading. Very cool. Look at that. A coffee cup made from a Nikkor lens. Isn't that awesome? An autofocus Nikkor lens. Sweet. Look at that. I've got lots of those. Very cool. Anyway, so this is really cool just out of the box for design, and this is really based on what other people like. So it's using attention data to recommend things to you that you might like. So you could actually leave it like this, and just go. Click here. There's other things you can do. You can search for some people, and if you search for some people and find some people, they can suggest items to you that will be integrated into this magic. So it's looking for people that it knows, but it's not going to find anybody because this is a brand new account. So it's not going to find anybody. But what I can do is I can browse for stuff. Now this is something that a lot of people don't know about, right? So you can either search for something such as marketing conversation and get my blog, my corporate blog, and you can add it to a folder, a new folder, and you can say marketing. Then you can go back to feed discovery, and you can search for Chris Abraham, and there I am, and you can subscribe. You can add it to a folder, Gonzo. And then you can go back here, and there's a lot of other stuff you can look at. You can go to Browse, and then there's bundles, which are really awesome. And I think I might make a bundle for something else. Anyway, there's some featured bundles, and there's lots of bundles that Google recommends. And for example, by default, you have op-ed columnist New York Times recommends 10 feeds that you can just subscribe to right there. You can see what those feeds are. Aid Watch, First Read, Informed Comment, New York Times Opinion, Real Climate, blah blah blah. There's also news feeds that you can get, BBC, Google News, Portland Business News, since I'm in Portland, it figures that out, and New York Times and stuff like that. I can subscribe to that. I don't like sports, I will ignore that, but it has ESPN, BBC, and then there's staff picks. You can't just choose one over the other, you have to choose the whole. You subscribe to the whole packet, or as they call it, the whole feed bundle. So I love all that stuff, especially Cute Overlord and Pop Sugar and Make Magazine. So I will subscribe to those, but you're not limited to that. So you can go to these huge number of bundles, and you can look through these. So I love news, staff picks. I'm interested in Adobe and advertising. I'm interested in analytics and anthropology, Apple, art, astronomy. I'm interested in audio. Let's say I'm interested in beer and the Bible, bikes, BizTalk, BlackBerry, etc., blogging. These are all things that I can subscribe to. Now that when I go back here, I have thousands of things to read. Now, the great thing about this by default, and we'll go into subscription settings in a second, is that automatically as you scroll down, it'll automatically mark each article as read when you pass it. You can disable the feature, but it's beautiful because it's like you scroll through a river of news. Let's look at settings. Language, start page, home. I want my start page to be all items. I want an expanded view, mark items red when you scroll past them. I want always start with the navigation pane visible. I don't want to only show likes the people you follow because I like the beauty of attention data. Now what attention data is it recommends and bubbles stuff to the top, just like Facebook, where by default the most engaged with content bubbles to the top and the least engaged with content bubbles to the bottom. It's not based on time stamp. It's not based on latest shown first. It's not reverse chronological. It is based on popularity. You can make it only by people you follow. I'm not going to do that. Confirm when marking all is read. No. Show followed blogs from Blogger. Sure. Show fave icons for subscriptions. Yes, I like that. And then we can go to subscriptions, and you can see that we have all of these now. The bundles add up, but don't worry. News, aggregated news, RSS news like this is dipping your foot in the water. Dipping your foot in the water. It is not an inbox that you need to get through. If you haven't read your Google News, your RSS news, I mean, in a while, you can just go in and mark all as read. However, the most interesting things are always going to bubble to the top, but I always like to start off getting rid of old stuff and just looking at new stuff. You can tag and you can do all kinds of things. Um, I don't really pay attention to this because I kind of like the beauty of the news, just coming as I see it. There are other bookmark things that you can add. You can put Reader in a bookmark. You can use Reader on your iPhone, readergoogle.com. It'll put you into a mobile version. You can subscribe as you surf. You don't really need to do anything like that because when you're using something like Firefox or Chrome, it'll automatically give you Google Reader as a choice. Import-export is pretty interesting. One of my favorite things to do is to go to the power150.com, which is the epicenter for top marketing, PR, SEO, and branding design blogs, and there are 1,186, but about 980 of them work. The rest are broken because of some XML mess up. But what I do is I right-click this here, OPML of all blog feeds. If you ever find an OPML of blog feeds based on a topic that you find enjoyable, it is a portable XML framework. XML is sort of like an HTML file for machines that allows import and export and sharing of in this case, in the case of its original intent, formatted outlines, but in the case of this, sophisticated portable containers for up to thousands and thousands of blogs, including their URL, including their RSS feed, etc. So I save this link as, and I save it to my desktop. And I can go to there and I can open it with TextPad and we can look at it. You'll see it is a giant file full of titles, blog URLs, RSS feeds, and so forth. Each line representing a different blog. So I download that and I go back to Google Reader and I can choose a file. I can choose OPML from my desktop and I can upload that, and there should be 1186 new articles coming in, blogs, RSS feeds that will constantly feed with the latest content. And OPML is not particular articles, it is a meta construct that then allows my reader to read all future new articles from these blogs based on their content. So, it's awesome. Look at that. All 1096 subscriptions. So I can select all of them, and I could go ahead and do something like unsubscribe and so forth. I think in the last case, there's only 986 or something to that effect. So when we go back here, lots and lots of new stuff has been added. Trends are interesting. You can see different things. You can see how you interacted with articles based on the day of the week, time of day, last 30 days. It's pretty interesting. Let me make this smaller. You can see what our reading trends are, what the subscription trends are, the tags associated with them. You can make notes. Let me show you here. So Benadryl's mask campaign is the stuff of nightmares. At the bottom here of every article, there are an assortment of choices that you can make. Here, these are associated with the person's blog themselves. You can click on this, if you want to add to Delicious. It'll take you there if you want to dig this. You can go there. But these are associated right here with actions you can take within the browser. You can add a star, which you can then look at later under Start Items. It's a great way, since you have over 1,000 items, to go back to things. You can like stuff. Like is sort of an explicit way. There's two ways that Google gets those top articles. One of the ways is an implicit way, which is how you interact and how you read and how you subscribe and how you view articles without interacting with them. And then the explicit way is sort of like the way Dig or Reddit works, where you or Facebook, where you explicitly like something or comment on something. So this is a public item. So as you like things, then it gets put into the public pile, and then your admiration for this particular article becomes part of what helps other people find their content when they don't import their own RSS feeds. You can share this. Now, here is what it does is it creates for you a public page where you can share all of your likes with other people publicly. So for example, here is your public page. By its very nature, you can see that that article that I shared shows up here. It is a meaningless association of numbers and so forth. You'll never remember it unless you bookmark it. It also has its own RSS page, its own RSS, so you can share the content here as well. You see right here an Atom feed, so people can subscribe to. It's very, very postmodern, but people can subscribe to the page of the things that you share on Google. It's very, very weird. You can also change it to ninjas if you like, or you could make it sea themed, or you can make it ice cream. Oh, isn't that cute? Now, here's another thing to realize. You can also noodle with your Google profile. So you can create a custom URL that's different than that meaningless thing of numbers. So here's the numbers here. This is, garbage up here. But you can then create your own unique extension here. Let's see, here we are, profile URL, and then you could change it to your CAAH demo. Is that easy to see? Let me see. You can play this back, but if you go down to profile URL in your Google profiles, not only is there a lot of stuff that you can change, but you can also make your profile name less random. So let's go here and we can refresh, and you'll see that now it is google.com/reader/shared/CAAH demo. If you go to CABRAHAM, you'll see my Chris Abraham shared items. So I can follow me, and then I can see how to use Gmail to send from alternate email addresses, working from building private patio experiment, sauteing potatoes with green onions and garlic, various and sundry things that I've liked and interacted with, including the fact that I'm on a weight loss kick and I am tweeting my real weight every morning to my Twitter account. Anyway, so back to here. All that stuff comes together. You can see your shared items. Here's the Benadryl mask, is the stuff of nightmares. So you can go back to that. You can also share with a note that'd be shared with other people, right? There we go. And you can say, this is too scary. I don't think I like Benadryl. I believe one should always market with a positive spin and not engage in negative or scary images or branding, no matter how witty or creative. The mind responds to no or awful or scary negatively through the subconscious. So that goes ahead and shares things with your friends and shows them how witty you are and how on top of things are. And then you get to share with a note. You can also email to other people in your cja@well.com. This is scary, but cool, but maybe a bad idea. And then I can send myself a copy to remind myself of the URL. I can keep this unread if I'm interested in reading it later, or I can add a tag, advertising, marketing, advert, and then save. And there you go. If I go to Gmail, you'll see that I've received the email in here and display images, and you'll see it says this is scary but cool but maybe a bad idea. It gives the full article including the photos and really makes it easy to share information with people in your team. I can subscribe to Adweek from here, which I think I've already done. If you can look at shared items, you can look at notes. You can see my note. Since we're not friends with anybody, we don't see anybody else's notes. And I think that's it. I hope that's it. If you go to all items, you can also look at it in list form, so you can really buzz through this and only look at the ones that you find interesting based on titles. However, I really like just scrolling through, looking at the pictures, and it doesn't really take much time, and if you're on a good connection, the scrolling keeps up with the speed with which you go through. And you'd be surprised how poorly people title good content. People are just terrible titling content. Anyway, I think that's it. Let me share a little bit about myself real quick. Let's see. I work for Abraham Harrison. I'm president and founding partner at abrahamharrison.com. You can reach me and us via all kinds of fun contact info. Here's via electronic mail, or via phone or fax, or email, or on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Abraham Harrison. Here's our marketing blog. You can subscribe to this by clicking up here to subscribe, and it'll automatically ask you how you'd like to how you would like to subscribe. What I would do is I would click on Google. So click right here on Google, and it'll add it to the Google Reader. and it'll say subscribe to Marketing Conversation. Easy as that. I would love if you did that. And then of course here's mine, which is more of a personal blog. Wrote an article about Lost in Translation and the beautiful and enigmatic Scarlett Johansson. And here too you can subscribe. And you can subscribe via Google Reader, and it'll automatically put you right in there. Hurrah, hurrah, because the medium is the message. And Twitter's over capacity, isn't that bizarre? So be sure to follow Abraham Harrison on Twitter, or Chris Abraham on Twitter. I'll totally follow you back. I'm at facebook.com/Chris Abraham, and Abraham Harrison is at Abraham Harrison right there. I highly encourage you to join and connect. Anyway, thanks very much, and I really appreciate it. Oh, here's the most important thing before I leave. Mark all as read, right? Let me dismiss this. So let's start from, it says more than 1,000 items from all, don't ask me again, but I'm going to mark that as read. And that means that the next time we come on, we will see brand new things. So I can refresh here. It'll go out there and it'll look for new things. In this case, you are only going to see things that are brand new, or because, like I said, they move really well-loved stuff to the very top, it might very well just be really interesting and lots of other people love it. So anyway, thank you very much, and I appreciate your time, and please comment either lovingly or viciously in the comments. And please, if you will, list down any and all videos you'd like me to make for you, and I'll try to do it. I'm on a real kick for that. Sorry about the background noise. I hope you can hear me, and I look forward to seeing you later. Bye-bye.